I'm taking a pain pill as we speak, people.
Oh, nope,
Uh,
it says upcoming. Hold on. It hasn't
well,
connected. It has not
well,
connected.
I'm holding a Coke in one hand and my pills in the other. So,
I get it. Take your meds. It's all good. Um, Let me refresh. See if it's actually there. All right, now we are live. Okay? We are good.
here now, live
Yes, we
after
are
last night.
live.
Yeah, after last night. Okay. Well, I'm thinking. I
Shit, you know like me.
yeah. Uh-huh. I need to take a pain pill real quick. We had a little misfortune, or shall we say misstep this morning, when the spouse did not make sure that the ass and legs and the rest of her body was in the truck, and we slid off of the step and went straight down onto the ground, and we have some nice hematomas, one the size bigger than a golf ball. It's funny now. It really is freaking funny the way I fell, come to think of it.
Yeah, but
But
it wasn't funny at the time it happened.
I I hurt the whole way into the hospital. So I went there. I got the IV antibiotics, to which I thought I was going to have to fight for. And I thought, it's only going to be 3 days. He goes, nah. He goes, it's going to be 7 days. You got to come in every day at 9 o'clock. So he doesn't listen to the podcast. So I'm not telling him, because they're going away this weekend, uh,
Mm-hmm.
that I'm taking an Uber down Saturday and Sunday. Because if I have to skip the weekend, then I have to start over again on Monday, and it has to be 7 days concurrent. But they felt that this would get a jump start on the infection. So
Yeah.
after since January, or since I left the home, right, we've been dealing with this shit. Finally, I got the man himself and the myth, and he's like, "Yeah, D, we'll hook you up." So then from there, I thought I'd be badass. Oh, sure, we can walk across the campus.
No.
Yeah, right. I've made it all the way past cardiology, which was a little bit of a haul. When I ran into, wait, he's in his 70s. I ran into Al, and Al goes, "Do you need some assistance, ma'am?" And I was like, yeah, I think I might. He goes, "How about a wheelchair?" I said, "That would be great." He goes, "Do you think you can make it around the corner?" I said, "Yeah, I'll push it." So I made it around the corner, and he goes, "Lean up against the wall." And I was cracking up. So I leaned up against the wall, and then he backed the wheelchair behind me. That 71-year-old man pushed me across the campus,
Uh huh.
down to the Cancer Institute. He goes, "I get more than 12,000 steps in a day, back and forth, back and forth." And he
I
goes,
can
"But
believe
before,"
it.
yeah, he goes, "But before we go down there," he goes, "don't tell nobody." And he ran over and he grabbed his coffee cup. He goes, "They make better coffee downstairs than they do up here." So I went down there and got another infusion, and then EJ came and picked me up with the baby. So we were on our way home. I called Eric. I said, "I'm sorry, but EJ just can't come in today. I'm too sick. There's no way I could take the rat."
Oh,
So
of course.
I just was too sick and had to come in and lay down, and like, I don't know what I am. And then as I was reading messages in my Discord, there you were, and I was like, "Oh shit, we're in trouble now." So
No,
to explain,
not in trouble.
no, I'm not in trouble, but no, we don't know what we're in trouble for, maybe. So
Oh, true. Yeah, we're gonna see how this day goes. I'm going through nicotine withdrawal until my ex-husband gets off of work in a few hours. So I'm just a little twitchy with a splitting headache and agitated to all hell. So,
So, what? How did you describe it? It was pretty funny. You wanted to. How did you say
scream,
that?
throw things, curl up in a ball, and cry at all at the same time.
There you go. That
Hmm.
works. That's
But it's not
doable.
nearly as bad as when I actually would do those things a few years ago. When I was the 2 to 3 pack a day smoker, I'm not nearly as bad as I was a few years ago. I've gotten much better. Am I still a spiteful bitch right now? You betcha.
Well,
Because I've been warning I was getting low on nicotine for 3 months because I had a
yeah.
stockpile. And instead of, listening to me about setting money aside for the upcoming, nope, nope, nope. That's unacceptable. And so, I'm a spiteful little bitch about this, but I'll be
So,
okay.
is this cigarettes or vape pens or
The
what?
well, nicotine in general. I used to be literally a 2 pack a day smoker of cigarettes. Um,
Okay.
Switched to vaping in 2012 and have been on those ever since. I've only gone back to cigarettes like one here or one there because I ran out of nicotine and someone loaned me a cigarette. So
Mm-hmm.
I've not actually really touched cigarettes in 13 years.
Is vaping supposed to be better than cigarettes?
If you
Health wise?
follow the news, no. In my
Okay.
personal experience and in my research, I have to be careful because I could get medical misinformation. But let's just say
Right.
in the research I have looked into, the most common problem is when people are mixing like the cannabis oils, the THC or the CBDs oils
Right.
with the nicotine oils, the
I
nicotine
see.
liquid. That can cause what's called
Yeah.
popcorn lung. Um, However, anything you take into your lungs outside of oxygen is not good for you. Plain and simple.
Mm,
So it's
mm-hmm.
not but I will say that with vaping you have less
So that's why.
carcinogenic stuff and you don't have the arsenic and stuff that is common in a regular cigarette. So,
So you,
take your
you
pick.
you- so you just said. Correct me if I'm wrong. You just said anything other than oxygen. You should only be taking oxygen in. Is that correct?
The air you breathe is all you should be taking in.
Okay. Well, that's why I don't use my nebulizer.
Bull crap. Come on. That's not what I meant, and you know it.
I know.
You take that up with the pulmonologist. You can have that argument with the pulmonologist. I am not getting into
Oh,
that one.
oh, that's funny. I love you. You know that.
Uh,
That's
it does
funny
really
shit.
suck, Vanilla. It does suck to have withdrawals. But this is nothing
Uh,
like what people go through with alcohol or drugs. This is still not fun, but not nearly as bad as it could be.
yeah, several times I've taken myself off of my pain meds, uh,
Mm-mm.
and
Oh
I've
my
gone
God.
severe, yo, yeah, severe withdrawal.
No, you do know you with
I,
prednisone. If you are on a long dose of prednisone, the
that's
reason they taper you is your
exactly.
body will go through withdrawal symptoms. I have been through
Oh,
it
yeah.
because they cut me off of my prednisone too quickly for my asthma flare up. Oh
Mm,
lordy. Whoo, I did not do well. I did not
yep.
do well. Vomiting,
I have.
shaking, cold
Yep.
sweats. Oh
Yes.
Lord.
All of it. They and one was done by a doctor, and I couldn't get into a new pain management quick enough,
Uh-huh.
and I stayed at that time. I was popping 3 and 4 Benadryl every 4 hours to
To
keep
sleep
myself
through
going.
it. Yep.
Eric stayed with me the entire time to make sure I was breathing, that nothing happened, that if he had to call the paramedics, he would. Um, I've never abused any of my narcotics and never sold them, whatever.
But you still end
But
up with that
yeah,
dependency that you have to be weaned
you
off
do.
of.
Yeah, correct. You cannot just go cold turkey off of it. and I've been on steroids since '07. Uh, and I'll be on them till the day I die. If I don't take them, I would be dead. So that's what keeps me alive for the autoimmune disease that I have. But with that comes all those repercussions that caused me to have the repertoire of drugs that we have, um, which I never had prior to getting the autoimmune disorder thing. But yeah, going off of narcotics cold turkey, oh man, wicked. So I have promised them, because I've done some pretty stupid shit. I've stopped all of my medications at once. I've copped an attitude and said, I'm done. I'm not taking jack shit anymore. But
Yup.
we're now shit serious. You know what I mean? I can't be playing games. And so I promised I would never do that again. Yeah,
And
right.
Crown Target, I will take a look into the avian lungs. That does sound absolutely cool. He put that up in the chat. I've got a Google search for it pulled up for later. Um,
Okay.
yeah, there and Vanilla Pie. I can talk with the when it comes to the cheaper liquids and disposables. Yes, I actually avoid those. Because I notice with those, there are times where I will cough up what looks like clear, like a gluey substance, but it's made up of the corn syrup that they use for the base for the nicotine. And so I can't use the cheap stuff. It clogs up in my lungs. And it's like this clear, sweet, nasty. Because when you cough it up, of course, you taste it. So it tastes sweet. And it's just disgusting. It looks like a tacky glue. The best way to describe it. You know when you get the mail and there's those glue strips when you bundle them up, when you roll up the glue to play with it, if you've ever done that? It's
Yeah.
like that, but I'm coughing it out of my lungs. So I can't use the cheap liquid, which is why I am a fussy bitch when it comes to my nicotine, the vaping, because the cheap stuff can have nickel and other metals in it, including mercury. Yes, do not
Do
use
we
the
have
cheap
a
stuff.
raid? Do we have a raid going on us?
No, we got Vanilla Pie and Crown Target in there.
Well, why do I have that the outlaw dogs have raided this stream?
I don't know. Did they? Awesome
I
if
don't
they
know.
did.
Go look. Can you
Um,
check?
I can try. Give me 1 second. I don't know why it didn't show up on the back end. Um,
I'm not positive. I mean, I'm just in the
yeah, Outlaw
chat.
Dogs, welcome. I don't know why this didn't show up on the back end of the studio
Yeah.
that I'm looking at,
Strange.
but thank y'all for stopping in. Buddy, go get the door. Someone's here. Um,
Thank
if
you. I'm
Thank
glad
you,
I
Outlaw Dogs. Glad you're here.
yes. Welcome. That's
Yes.
awesome.
It does not
We
show up
tried
on the
doing
back end.
Yeah, we tried doing a raid yesterday. We have no clue what the hell we're doing. And we're actually, this is our first week in attempting to use OBS, which is a new studio for us, depending um, whether or not we're going to leave Ev much or not. And so you be patient with us because things are hit and miss, to say the best. No, it's been going rather well, to be quite honest. It's just we have some bugs to fine tune. And I'm glad that
And
I actually
this
just,
is also a really nice way if we want to save however much it is a year. Um,
right,
we can do that too.
right.
So, and
Normally,
they just
yeah,
walked in with my
normally,
nicotine.
well, thank God for that.
Y'all are
Thank
safe.
God. Thank,
Y'all are
thank you,
safe.
thank you, ex-husband. Everybody give a round of applause because it was going to be a long ass 2 hours. That's all I can say. But anyway, Welcome everybody. And as you all know, we usually start out just carrying on and bullshitting about our day and what's going on. So luckily, due to injury and illness, we don't third co-host screaming with us today, which is
Little
Baby J.
JJ.
Yeah, he really hasn't made an appearance this week per se.
He hasn't
My
made an
man,
appearance in a while. He's been well
yeah,
behaved. Or
yeah, my
you've already
man.
shipped his butt home.
Yeah, my man has been down and out though himself with his own getting his own set of shots. So he was out for 2 days and whatever happened. And so now hold on once. Okay, so everything's set. I think for next week. I don't think we're pre-recording. I think everything's
No, we
scheduled
already have
okay.
one pre-recorded because you have one day off next week. I believe you said it was Wednesday the 6th. It's already
Right,
pre-recorded and ready to roll.
right. So we're gonna roll with that, Crazy B.
I'm sorry? Say it again?
We're gonna roll with that, or do you still want to go live?
I think we
Since
can
my
roll with that because it is a Wednesday, not a
okay.
Tuesday or Thursday, since there are other people live that we have to kind of dodge around to help them out and stuff.
Okay, so next week then, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday will be live. Wednesday will be a pre-recorded day. And for all of those of you that did not listen to our pre-recorded vacation time that was last week, you missed some very interesting conversations.
Very funny stuff. Very
Yeah, and
funny.
yes, and I'd suggest you go back and maybe pick up a view or two. And please don't forget to like, follow, comment, share, subscribe, whatever you want to do with this. But at least give us, at least a thumbs up as well as every other content creator out there. It makes a difference in the YouTube and Rumble algorithms. It gets our numbers, we're still below water a little bit, and we need to get boosted somewhat. And
Um,
hey JJ, I
I
can see
wanna
you on this end.
I
Yeah,
want
we're
to
just
respond to this. We're not doing it as a premiere. We're just uploading because at the time I believe Dee will be at her appointment.
correct. That's
So
correct.
it wouldn't be both of us in the chat. So we're just going to upload it and
Right.
leave it at that. I would do it as a premiere if we were both there to jump in and chat. I could jump in as my crazy bee game, the game like a mom chat one, and she could be as Rex sisters. But at this point, because she's not going to be here, it's like we're just going to upload it.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're trying to stay out of the hospital because
Both of us.
yeah, I think that they would think I was even crazier than before when I took my stuff to the
Yeah.
hospital. Yeah, I don't think a podcast would go over when they
Actually, I think it
day.
would be fun. I think it
It
would be
would.
absolutely fun. However,
Yeah.
like if I were to, and again, in my situation, I've got a lot of testing coming up. I've still got to have an MRI of my brain done. Um, and we're not, I've been sneaking looks at my test results already. As they're coming in from the ones that are already done, but depending on what the test results say in the near future, depends on what my schedule is going to look like. So there might be a bit more pre-recorded coming up, which sucks.
Either that, or we're going to consider doing
The
the
Tuesday and
Tuesday
Thursdays at
Thursday
night.
evening. Yeah,
Yes. So
and
depending on the days is what will determine what happens going forward.
right, and we both are trying to coordinate our schedules, but that's I
That
told
does
her
not always go well. It does not.
we could have rearranged our names to like Sick Sisters or something to that effect.
What the heck is my body doing now, sisters?
There we go. That's right. Every once in a while, shit happens, and we're in the kind of in the throes of that. But you
Mm-hmm.
know, as we
It's
both,
we just gotta get through this time frame and hope that it gets better over the next few months.
that's right.
Fingers
Before the
crossed.
before the holidays,
Yep.
before the holidays. Yep, it's
So.
hard to believe it's August 1st.
Oh
Two
shit! It
thousand.
is August 1st. Damn.
Yep, and somebody has a birthday.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No,
Tell
I
the
don't.
audience. Hey, tell the audience. Please
Uh
do share. Uh huh. When would it be?
uh I believe it's on the weekend. I believe it's on a day we don't stream. So, haha, yes.
That doesn't. Hey, back end, front end. Everybody wish Crazy Bee an early birthday, and perhaps on Monday a belated birthday.
Yeah,
Maybe.
it's on the weekend. So, haha.
And
Oh,
how old are
JJ
we going
says
to
Rex
be?
Sisters is appropriate. Yeah, it really
Yeah.
is. Our lives are a wreck, and we're trying. We're
Yeah.
trying.
And how it just isn't us, it's the surrounding family and friends and
Friends, yeah.
yeah,
Oh my God, I know some friends who are going through far worse than me, and it's like, you know what? I'm gonna just shut up. I'm not
I know.
gonna even complain because it could be worse. It could be
Yeah,
far worse.
yes, and we talk about that all the time. How much worse it could be and how much worse other people do have it.
Thank you, Vanilla Pie.
Yes, we are blessed for as bad as things can be.
That's the way
Uh
I look at it. And I've always had that outlook. Like I tore up my knee really bad. Oh no, my foot. I'm sorry. I broke my foot in this one bone, and I was stuck in an air cast for like 6 weeks. So you know that big old boot, the boot one
yep,
that you got to walk around with, that walking boot. So I was
yes.
stuck with that crap. Yours is August 22nd. Mine's birthday month. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm a little bit before that, but yeah, nope. This weekend's mine, and that's awesome. Another August baby. But I don't. You're not the Leo end. No. You're still a Leo. The Leos don't pick up and end until the 23rd or the 24th. So I believe you're still a Leo then.
Yeah. So go
You
ahead,
guys
you were
are
saying about
Leos.
the food. You were
Yeah,
saying
so I had damaged my foot, and I was supposed to stay off of it, and but I still had to work because my boss was being absolutely atrocious about this. Okay, so I'm trying to work with this air cast on, and I'm like, oh no, I take this back. No, it was not that time. That was when I ended up quitting. I apologize. Let me go back. No, this is when I tore my LCL. I apologize. I tore my LCL in my knee. That is
so.
the. Go ahead.
So you're getting older and your memory's starting to fail you now. Is
Yes,
that
it
what?
is. And well, I've also let's also narrow this down. I have at least one sprain, fracture, bruising that's pretty bad, needs stitches at least once every other month. Okay, I don't always tell people, but this is no joke. And I used to break my nose about 3 times a year. So I have had a lot of injuries, and yes, I do get them confused. So in the time that I worked for this place, I have needed stitches, I have broken 2 fingers, I tore up my LCL, and I broke my foot in less than a year. I barely had time for one to heal before the next one happened. Sorry. So,
You would say you'd be like that's good English, but you'd be like those people that can't walk and chew gum at the same time, right?
I can, believe it or not, it was a previous damage to ligaments and stuff that led to these injuries. But believe it or not, I tore my LCL getting a Charlie horse while laying in the bathtub. I got a Charlie
Oh,
horse and I went to
I,
straighten my leg out and I did it too fast and I tore my LCL. And trust me, the doctors did not believe me. They asked if I was being abused. I had to bring my stepdad in to confirm I only lived with my toddlers and a cat. And
the
I
cat,
literally asked the doctor, so is it my
cat.
kids that are abusing me or my cat?
It was the cat. I know it was because I know how Jekyll and Hyde they threw you
So,
to the bus.
well, catch this. So while I've got this torn LCL, I'm on crutches. I'm in a locked brace. They had to lock my leg open so it wouldn't do the where instantly
Ben,
my leg
right,
bends back because of the torn
right.
ligament because of where it's at. So I'm on crutches. I have to take a bus, hobble 2 fucking miles beyond the end of the bus stop to get to where I worked on crutches. Get to work, hide my crutches in the restaurant, and then go about my business with a straight leg.
Hmm.
Yeah, trust me. All I had was the mantra of it could be worse for 6 weeks.
Okay.
I am not even joking. I have done some of the dumbest shit when I should have been laid up in bed with my leg elevated and iced. I literally had a note to get out of work, but that would have led to me getting fired, and I needed to pay my bills.
Well, you ended up quitting anyway.
Well, yeah, that was because she told me that my because I had injured my foot at work, and because I called her while she was on vacation to report it and ask about workman's comp, she couldn't keep me on anymore. Which would have been grounds to sue her, but it wasn't worth it because she lost the business a year later.
Yeah, but you still would have got workers' comp.
It wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it.
We'll discuss that later. Me and you've argued this too many times.
It was not worth it with her. No, I would not
Okay.
have. No, I would not have.
Nope.
I promise you, she's one of those people like my previous boss that wasn't paying into it.
Right.
One of my other bosses that didn't like to pay into workman's comp. And you only find out afterwards. He wasn't holding
Yep.
workman's comp insurance. Yeah.
Yeah,
She
when
was
you
one of those
needed it.
cheapskates. She was the cheapskate that would get the moldy peppers from the from the store that were on
Yeah.
clearance and tell you to cut off the mold part and use the rest.
Oh my God.
That's how I know I wouldn't have gotten jack shit from workman's comp.
Wow.
Yeah. Karma got her when she lost all the restaurants a year later. She had 3, lost all 3 of them. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I let karma run its course.
Yeah.
Very much.
Yeah,
And karma
mine.
does a much better job than I could ever do.
Yeah, one of my ex-bosses had prison time. Go figure. But whatever. Let's start the
Oh,
show. Why don't we?
yeah, we could do that. We'll pick up with that one website you wanted to show yesterday that we didn't have time for, and then
Yeah,
we'll jump
first
into the videos.
do you have the short, the Muslim short?
And that wasn't actually a short; it was a 5-minute video. If I remember, if
No,
I
there's a short. I saw it in there. I saw it in your file. There is a short where he's
uh,
just interviewing the chick.
yeah, I could have swore that is longer than that. Hold on, let me pull it up. Um, One moment, please. Well,
One
I
moment, please,
mute
while Crazy
this.
He attempts to access.
Well, if I can get my mouse to work, I bet my battery is dying. That is 21 minutes long.
That's not that one. That's that one. But there's also there's a short that you have
Mm,
available. That
No.
yeah, where you were at last night pulling files, it's in there. I saw it down towards the bottom.
Um,
If not, that's okay.
I'm trying
We'll
to
get
see it. I don't see it because
okay.
I think I ended up with the link to the full one because I pulled all these links from where you sent them. No, I have the video of the guy interviewing the town,
Here,
the
I
girl
got it right.
interviewing the entire town, and then that same guy who was interviewing about the Muslims, he was interviewing blacks
Look and
about
see.
white people.
And of course, I can't click on it. It should say Sharia law.
Um, the link?
If
Didn't
not,
we?
yeah. Well, that was the name that I had it under, Sharia law. It was a short. It ends in 70F3RS.
I do not see that. Where did it go?
That's okay. We'll
Uh,
catch it later. We'll pick it up on Tuesday. That's all right. It ain't
I'll
like we
have to
don't got enough.
possibly re-download it. I might have to possibly re-download it because I don't know where it is. That is so
Okay,
weird.
no problem.
Okay, that's really
Okay,
bizarre.
so we finished up with that gentleman who was the FBI agent
Yes.
uh in Texas reviewing that he felt that the greatest threat to America is the incoming Islamic radicalized
Yes.
religion, and
Hold on,
that
I
it
got it.
is being permeated. Yeah, it's being permeated in such a way that it's coming in soft and gentle like a whisper, and it's going to come roaring in like a lion before we know it.
Which was
And
nicer
that
than the Catholics did. Just gonna point that out.
yes, and that for the past, and this has been an ongoing process for what, the past 60 years almost,
Yes.
and that it is being brought now in 2025. We're seeing it a little bit bubbling under the surface. We talked about there's Ilhan Omar, Presley, Rashida Tlaib, AOC, Bernie Sanders. There's one more that we're missing. Crockett's in there. Um, let alone who is in your local and state governments that you don't
Yep.
know about.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the most recent one come to light is why do I want to call him Zofran so bad only because
Zoran.
I'm on it.
Well, I
I
need
know.
Zofran when I
Let me
listen to him speak.
let me call him Zofran, please.
Go for it. I don't care.
He sounds like he should be like Ilhan Zofran. I don't know why, but so with him wanting to become mayor of New York, uh, the concern is Sharia law and all of the
Yes.
statements that he made in the past. And when asked about them today, he will not denounce Sharia law whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
He will not. He's been asked publicly. He will not do it. So what does that mean?
Hold on. I
The
want to
next,
address this. Vanilla Pie. Abbott shut that down. It's on hold. Yes, it got denied because they
yep,
wanted to cut the state and local law enforcement and legal systems out of it. And that is not acceptable. You are not the Vatican City. You do not get to pull that crap. Nope.
and you're
But they were
nor
trying to do, they
Disney,
were trying to create their own Vatican City.
just like Walt Disney used to do, which DeSantis
DeSantis put an end to that crap. Yes.
correct. So Abbott said no to them
The
creating.
Muslim city out in Texas. Yup. I just
Now,
wasn't sure if you had been updated on that one. I wanted to make sure you knew that got shut down fast.
yeah,
And I
there was supposed to
agree.
be an entire city built for uh,
Muslim. Yep.
the
Only.
Muslim community only. Nobody else would be permitted into it
Well, I
and
mean, they were
avid.
going to permit anyone who's willing to convert, and they were
Yes,
also, but they also were going to have it set up to where local law enforcement, like outside of that town, that
would
city,
not.
the
Right.
state, county, all of that would not be allowed to come in for any reason. But that totally
Right.
violates the federal jurisdictions of many places. And the states, like, that is not going to happen. We have to have oversight of it for many reasons. And
Mm-hmm.
they, yeah, that's why they got shut down, is because they were trying to cut out all the law enforcement from coming in and enforcing the American laws that say your Sharia law is violating this law, and and I've even
Right.
gotten it. We've had that conversation before too. Where do we draw the line between religious rights, the freedom of religion, and the laws of the land?
Mm-hmm.
And which supersede each other, because Americans have no problem saying Christian moral laws supersede the law of the land, but they also forget that they wouldn't be here if the Catholics hadn't done what they did and expanded the same way. And we could go on a historical rant that I'm not going to go to, but my point still remains. Why are we favoriting like this and that? And it's all, where do we draw the lines is really what I want to know.
Oh, I think the line for me is this issue of bringing in the Sharia law, correct? And
Well, when the
well,
Catholics first came here, women didn't have the rights to do a lot of things. When Christianity first came to America, women were basically the equivalent of what Sharia law does, except we didn't have to have our faces covered. But women were
yeah,
expected to wear hats. Even during church service, our heads are supposed to be covered. Women are, according
correct.
to the Bible, Christian Bible, women are not supposed to have their heads uncovered.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I could drag myself around in a burqa. Let's just say that.
No, but look at
Mhm.
the Mennonite and the Amish women who always have some kind of bonnet
They
over their
will,
head.
right?
Just pointing this out. How is it really much different? And Art, okay, the family member of a 5-year-old agrees to marry her off to a much older 40-year-old man in the Muslim community because they both practice Islam. It's not forced upon them, but is it legal? Should it be legal? Is it religious freedom? We could have a full philosophical debate here. This would be fun, but I know you aren't going to jump up here. But I'm just saying, we could have some fun with this. Again, where do we draw the lines? Because, 100 years ago, my grandmother was married off at 16. Not even 100 years ago. This was in the 1940s.
Right. They were 16, 17 years old.
Didn't need a
Heck,
parent's permission back then.
even watch today, there are some gypsy cultures. I've watched programming where they're 12 and 13 years old getting married.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not
Usually to
conscious.
other 12 and 13-year-olds are a little bit older, but
Exactly. A little bit older, granted, but they're usually used as, the girls going to the mother-in-laws to be the forced slave labor there for nothing. But yeah, I have a significant problem, and in fact, there was just and I'll be giving Crazy B the info on it that we'll probably talk about next week. Is Oprah meeting with John of God back a while ago in 10, but it came out in 18, where she was talking about, well, that's another subject. We'll get into all that a little bit later. We'll leave that as today's
yeah.
cliffhanger. Tune in.
Hold on. I
But
want to read this up. Vanilla Pie, I believe it is through the Old and New Testament, both, that women were supposed to have their heads covered. I would have to double check in my Bible because my photographic memory of the Bible disappeared when I got COVID. Go frickin' figure. Art says in America, marriages have to be licensed by the state, so the state has a say in it, and it shouldn't, and whether it's allowed or not. And
Yeah, that's
okay,
right.
but
The state does
does
have a
that
say.
not violate their freedom of religion, which is a constitutional law? So this is where the back and forth battle will always be.
Yeah, and it's always been there, right?
And
I
again,
mean,
this is
even
not me standing up for any inappropriate stuff. This is me pointing out a little bit of a fact that makes it very difficult for a lot of people if they want to think about it from take away the title of the religion, just religion A has this belief, should they have the right to do so? Forget whether it's Christian, Islam, Muslim, any of that. Forget it all. Just religion A.
well, I think as a society evolves, hopefully some of these decision making capabilities, such as a 5-year-old does not go with a 40, 50, or 60 or 70-year-old man to be
But that
married.
was allowed in Christianity for a long time, too.
I'm just saying, as society has
Has,
evolved, I would hope that
yes.
as of today, that is not the case. I
Yes.
realize back in the day, that
I
it
just
went
would like to point out we all started fundamentally in the
at
same place.
the
Yes,
same point.
Christianity has evolved.
Exactly.
Islam
Right.
needs to evolve.
Correct. That's all I'm suggesting, is they need to just step up a little bit. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
And what's so difficult about that? Why
Because
is there
then you
control?
are renouncing and disregarding what their religious teachings have been. Like the major uproar when the Catholics decided to start allowing birth control. There was a massive uproar because
Right.
that takes away from the teachings of go forth and be fruitful.
Hmm. So there's that intolerable bill,
Yes.
blah, blah,
Yes.
of,
Any
yes,
religion that wants
of,
to be to its core of what it was taught from the beginning. Yes, that's my
so
point.
I can't, yeah. Hmm.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I am just pointing it out. Crown Target, there is a design that is different for the married women versus the underage single and the young girls, but they all still have to have their heads covered at some point. I grew up next to a Mennonite community, and then right now I'm near an Amish community. All the girls have their heads covered, but it's a different style that designate uh, what's the word you used? Hold on, let me read this
Designate.
again. Not designates. No, he used a different word. Where did it go? Denotes the difference. So I apologize. I couldn't think of the word for a minute. Um,
And I apologize, I can't see the chat, so I can't chime in because we literally can't see it.
okay, and Vanilla Pie looked it up. He says, okay, I just looked it up. It's in both Old and New Testament, but the context is you should wear it when you're praying or at church. And in some versions of Christianity, like the Amish and the Mennonites, it's all the time. Because it is, again, you are faithful all the time. God is with you all the time. You're being observed all the time, if I remember correctly. What I was taught, if I remember correctly, because my mom's best friend was Mennonite growing up. She was my second mom for the longest time till I was about 13. She was my second mom. So, if I remember correctly, that is the circumstance. The cover of one's head also includes hair, so you're not bald. If you're not bald, you're good. See, and that's where I think some people may have taken that out of context. I'm not sure. I would want to talk with a couple of different religious sects of Christianity, the different divisions, to see what their opinions are on that, because some of them say that's good enough, others say it's not. However, men were not allowed to wear head coverings in Christian church because that was a sign of disrespect. But if you look at Judaism and stuff, they have the yarmulkes for a reason. So I'm just doing a comparative religion thing here. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to absolutely take us off the rails, but it's kind of why I get frustrated with American laws where they're like, you know, why would we have freedom of religion just to turn around and segregate one religion because we don't like what their religion teaches, even though it's almost identical to where our religion stemmed from? That's my issue. So, I don't know. I might be wrong. God will judge me. Sorry.
It's all good.
But anyways, back to what we were doing.
So
I did not mean to take it that far.
That's okay. Now, don't anybody in the chat ask her any other questions, because we got to get just one article today. If not, I'm making y'all come back on Sunday.
Actually, it's not even really an article. It's anyways, it's a website. We'll read over.
I know. I'm just kidding.
I'm having a day. Let me be. I finally got my nicotine. I'm feeling a little bit better.
So she's on a nicotine high now. So we had the
withdrawal to high in less than an hour.
Yeah, we went from low kill to high happy. So okay. All right. Wish I could be there somewhere, and I'm not even in between. I don't know where I'm at. I think I'm still at the yard somewhere. Okay, so we were talking about the FBI agent, and I wanted to go check out who this guy happened to be. And as I was going through the research, I came across this piece, and I was like, oh no, this kind of scares me because they created
Art.
The Muslim advocates created a website to go out and find out information on John, the ex-FBI agent, on everything that they can. They put out FOIA requests on him. And I'm like, I guess they want to get all the detail and everything. And what are they going to do? Put a hit on his back? Because he's the only one that has created an agency to counteract having the Muslim population infiltrate government, schools, and communities. What's going on here? So when you look at all the requests that they go through, they filed a series of state and federal public record requests regarding him because of what they perceive to be as anti-Muslim rhetoric. He provides training to law enforcement agencies and other entities through his company, Understanding the Threat. The other thing, I have been unable to get into his website, and I don't know why. Crazy Bee, I don't know if you can try getting in there right now to Understanding the Threat.
Isn't this his website?
No, this is the Muslim advocates. This is their FOIA.
1 second while I whoops. Nope. 1 second.
Yep. Yeah, scroll up and I'll read a little bit there, dear.
Okay.
If you can. Okay. So for close to 10.
Whoops. My bad.
Yep.
Go ahead.
It's her hands. It's her hands. So for close to a decade, he's toured the country claiming during public appearances, presentations, and internet posts that a vast conspiracy exists among Muslim groups to overthrow America and establish Islamic law. Through such inflammatory rhetoric, John has sought to indoctrinate local law enforcement authorities and communities with anti-Muslim prejudice. Now, this went from 17 to 18. Some were pending, some were closed. This was filed in 18 down in Virginia. I just thought it was interesting that I didn't know I could create an organization to go after my enemies, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't
So,
have known that either. What's the guy's name? Hold on. Let me get
so
this
we're
all in
looking
one
for,
thing. J O
yeah,
H
we're looking
N G U A.
AN,
Sorry.
yeah, DOLO, and it's understanding the threat.
Let me see if I can type. Ah, there it is. Oh no, that's the
You got
Muslim Advocates.
okay.
Um, is it under the monument
No, it
or
should
the
be under
mo?
his company is called Understanding the Threat.
Yeah. There's a couple of websites that might be tied to him. Hold on. Let me see if this is it. Um, no, that's not it.
Okay, we'll
Um,
look around
oh, give
because
me a
I
minute.
was
There's called Wikipedia. I'll just go to his damn website from there. I gotta find it. Okay, there
so
should be a link. Keep reading.
yeah.
I'm sorry. Do you need me to scroll down?
No, there's nothing left. Well, uh these are all just related documents, and this will be dropped in the description below once we've ever finished this live. But you'll be able to go in and see what the FOIA request was and what they're looking for. What I don't like about this is if there would be any type of list with attendees' names that partook upon this training, like a law enforcement officer. I just feel like it's gathering too much intel for potential organizations to have. I don't like it. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
why. This does not sit well with me. Uh, that I didn't know that you could really just let me go out and create these organization, and now I'm going to go out and fuck with all of you
Oh
and just start
shit.
all that. What? Oh
Um,
shit! What?
I got a 404 error for clicking on dude's name. It was page not found because of monitoring and combating Islamophobia.
No way. They took him down.
At least on this one website. On the link to it.
Yeah.
Um, hold on. Let me there's a lot that they're not allowing.
Mm.
Um, I think they pulled it down. I can't find it. There's an Apple podcast for him. Um, it's
Have
an
the pod.
anti-Muslim hate group that won't. Yeah, hold up. They're not even allowing me to go to the websites, except the
Right.
Muslim advocates and stuff. Like, there is no going to it.
Yeah, that's what I had a feeling. So
Uh
we
huh.
yeah. So we have some people in the audience that might be able to comment or say something maybe up in the Discord on it later or in a private DM on it later. Uh because I don't want to lead us down any path, Crazy B,
Yeah,
on
any
this.
websites that even reference him do not have a link to it.
Right, right.
And the UTT's website, an article posted on. Hold on, will it take me? Uh, I am not a robot. Let's see. Nope, it's an archived article for understanding the threat. Understanding the threat. It's an archived one. I believe they were taken down.
Okay.
Hold. Let me.
So
Oh,
so with
wait a second. I might have got. No, it's all archived, which means that it was pulled down from the website that it is no longer available. It's absolutely not available. It's all archived.
Okay. Crazy Bee, I'm going to drop something to you because it will not let me in it. I'm going to drop this to you in your DMs. This was the short that I was talking about before. And
Okay.
given this, I want. Da, 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 yeah.
You watch. It's not going to let me go to it. I think I'm trying the .com. I want to see if it's
Yeah.
um
Okay.
possibly
There's the
still available.
there's the short. Okay, that I wanted for today. I don't know if you can play that
Oh,
or
I have
not.
this whole video, not the short. I have this whole video set up.
Right. Right. Okay. Right. But I just wanted the short to pop just for the sake of so people were clear and then the whole video could be played. But the short I thought was important just in addition to the whole video, just because this is the uh and I'll pull more if you want to see them. This is the mantra that I'm seeing out there, and that's the short that Crazy Bee does have. If she wants to play it, if not, we'll play the video. Um,
Actually, I don't have that short. That short is MIA. I'm
okay,
going to re-download it. Um, yeah, it's not on here anymore. I
okay,
don't know where it went to. But I am re-downloading it, so we don't have to worry about ads, buffers, or any other BS. Um, so
but
yep,
it
it's
is
good.
it's a. I'll tell you, for me, it's a concern for, I guess, my children and my grandchildren, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's for when I'm no longer here. This is when I tell you I wish I wouldn't have had children. And I've said that many times before for a variety of reasons. But I would have just liked to have ended it right here and now and not carried the line moving forward because this shit sucks. You know that? That
Mm-hmm.
this is knowing going forward, we're dealing with politics, race, all the stuff that we keep talking about. I know that I can't live forever to make sure that I know I can't protect them, but I'd sure shit like to be around to help pick up some pieces.
Yeah.
And it just scares the hell out of me of what's going to happen. Or is this country, if I was to come back, would we be, um, would we be under Sharia law in 50 years, 20, 30, 50 years? I don't know.
It's hard to
Is
say,
that,
but it's
yeah,
again, what did people think when the Catholic Crusades were going on and they were going
yeah,
all over the world to South America, the Americas, all over
yeah,
Asia, Europe?
right?
What did people think back then when they were being told convert or die?
Yep,
I'm. This is again. It's not something new. It's just a new issue. It's a newer religion with
right. We haven't
different
seen it.
wording.
Yeah, we in the West, and particularly I think in the United States, have not encountered this for how long? For
Well,
how
I mean, I've known Muslim people. I do know people who are Muslim or Islamic, whatever you want to call it. I know people who are that way. And that's their religion. That is their choice. But they don't
right,
cram it down my throat. They don't treat me like crap.
right,
And they've actually sat down and had great conversations with me explaining their religious beliefs.
right.
And
But
yes,
when
I
it
got
came
the
time
watered
to ring the
down
dinner bell,
version. Go
right,
ahead.
when it came time to ring the dinner bell, though, what side of the fence, would they have you on?
They would probably prefer me on their side.
Correct.
But again,
And if not, you would be on the other side.
Well, why do you think I always say, in my personal opinion, we're all worshiping the same God, just under different names and images in slightly different ways. Some are
Right.
more, up to date, where you're not marrying children. Others are, still on that hell bent belief. I mean, if you look at all the religions and you take away names and images, they're fundamentally the same. If you just
Same.
have this God does this work, and then there's these demigods who are like angels in Christianity that do specific deeds for the superior God, the top God, because,
Yep.
he's too busy or whatever. So he sends someone else to do his job. And then there's always the bad guy who
And it.
rules the underworld with all his little minions.
But
Right.
here's the thing: in Greek
Right.
mythology, Hades wasn't even that bad of a person.
I know, but you still feared getting sent to his realm. Nobody liked being in a realm
Exactly.
of punishment
Right.
and
But
stuff
that's
like
the thing,
that.
It wasn't even really
Right.
punishment.
Yeah, Hades. Well, Hades did cause a lot of problems, though. Don't get me wrong. Hades had his moments.
Yeah, but like
He was
not as
also,
many as Zeus.
but he was also forced to take over the ruling of the underworld or the dead against his will. He didn't really want to do it, but that's where he got stuck. So he drew the short straw out of all of the brothers.
Hence, corporate offices are set up that way, I guess, right? Mailroom.
Well,
boardroom.
but people get mad at me for pointing out that these religions across the generations are fundamentally the same. I get so much hell for pointing it out. If you literally take away the name God and the name Zeus and the name Jupiter, or, well, technically, Mars was the god of war, but Jupiter technically was the head of the Roman mythologies. Take away Odin, take away Zeus, like Hercules, take away Thor,
now you
take
just-
away the name Jesus. You still have a son of a god, a superior god, who was sent here to go through these trials, save mankind, dies, comes back, and then is asked whether he wants to go to heaven with, or the upper realm with his father, or stay here with man. They all got their choice. It's literally the same story.
You see,
Slightly different details, but fundamentally the same story.
creativity is dead.
Right.
So, again, I can't be mad about religions when they all started from fundamentally the same damn place. And this is why I find it
Right.
so funny when you get these religious fightings. Y'all are fighting over a word. Like the Spanish say hola instead of hello. Are we going to start persecuting and executing
No,
for that?
Spanish would do it first because Spanish or vanish.
Ignore my son. But I mean, it's like it's with anything. Why are we nitpicking this? Why are we going to the death over these things? And yet, every religion has
Because
gone
it's a
through
power
this
struggle.
level of I've got to be in power. Every religion has gone through it.
Yep.
I'm not
All
trying
right,
to
crazy
justify
beast.
them. I'm literally just saying they're nuts. They're all nuts.
Yes, they are.
Let me hit play so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Because a couple centuries back, about 5-6 centuries ago, Catholics were talking this way. Just gonna point that out. Okay. Here's play.
It just wasn't. It just wasn't on the internet.
Yeah, there was no internet. So, all right, here we go. And it's a blank screen. Are you kidding me? Really? Really? We're going to do this to me today? We're going to do this to me today? Are you kidding me?
One moment, please. We are experiencing technical difficulties.
What makes you choose to wear the hijab?
Nope,
religion. I
still
started
not
wearing hijab When
working.
I was 16 years old.
Okay. I might have to play the link. All
I
right.
heard it, but I.
Yeah, no one's got to see it. So hold on. We are having technical difficulties. I hate doing it this way because it literally can buffer if my internet goes stupid. That's why I don't like doing it this way. One moment.
It's just a short.
I know it is, but it's still frustrating to me. Let me pause this right away. And we go back here to this. All right, this should work. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but here we go. I do have the full video in the lineup.
Choose to wear the hijab.
My religion, I started wearing the hijab when I was 16 years old.
And what would happen if you didn't wear the hijab?
Nothing would happen.
Bullcrap. Actually, and if in America nothing will happen, but in a different country, you are executed on the spot. Sorry.
You wanna know
That's
why
correct.
that is?
What, buddy?
Ethnic cleansing, but for intelligence.
Of their own people.
Yeah, only the smart will live.
No, that's not what that
Fine,
is.
intellectual cleansing.
It's your
That's more
choice.
accurate.
It's your choice in the West, but if you live in a Sharia law country,
Oh,
and you
he's
take
about
that
to say
off,
it.
Bad things happen.
And why do you think Islam is the largest growing religion here in the United States?
Because of our Quran. Our Quran, our book never changes. It's one book, one language, one religion. There's Islam in all over the world,
Do you think Islam will eventually overtake Christianity here in the United States?
worldwide, not just the United States.
Wow.
We have people converting every day
And what leads a Christian man to convert to Islam?
when they read the Quran and they find the truth, and they read it in English, and they see how peaceful Islam is.
Here are just a
I was just going to say, and he's probably going to say it too, it's not peaceful. The English translated version is not the actual translation. There is a lot lost in translation. Just like the various versions of the Bible that have been translated and rewritten and over everything over the years. That's when you really think about it, every religion, with the exception of some versions of Judaism, they have not translated or changed anything. Well, I mean, they've translated it, but they do their best to keep it as accurate as possible. However, it's the most unchanged religious book. I mean, unless you want to go into Hinduism, and they have a different unchanged version, but still. The Quran is also 300 years newer than Christianity and thousands of years newer than Judaism. Just going to point that out historically. Sorry. Did you need to add anything, Dee?
Well, thank you. Hit play. Go ahead.
just a few surahs to prove to you that Islam is not a religion of peace, or the Quran is not a book of peace. Surah 929, fight those who don't believe in Allah or Muhammad, the Prophet, and make them pay the jizya in humiliation and subjugation. 860, cast terror in the hearts of the disbelievers. 839, slay the unbelievers wherever you find them. 533, crucify the disbelievers and cut off their hands and feet from both ends. Sounds like a very peaceful book.
Yep. Let me...
That was just a little taste. That was the first thing that led us down this little journey. And then we came across this next piece.
The full video.
The full video.
That's not showing the video. Ah, there we are.
I see the video. There we go.
Well, let's hope you can hear it.
So what I found fascinating about this was that I had to go and look. I still am in disbelief at how Minneapolis, Minnesota has been taken over by Somalian Muslims.
Well, look at Detroit.
Statistics. Yeah, but let's talk about Minneapolis first. Anywhere from statistically 81 to 95% of the city, the entire city. And I'm like, nah, can't be true.
It's true.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I know it's
So
true
then
because I've
it's
lived in the Detroit area.
So then I go to Crazy B. Look, I'm reading this shit wrong, right? Here's these reports. Here, have at it. She goes, Detroit? I went, what? She goes, yeah.
Mhm.
How? How was an entire American city,
Okay.
unbeknownst to, to
Greenwich
us?
Village, New York. How is
It's-
that entirely Polish?
Yeah. I mean, I
Hamtramck
recognize that.
outside
You
of
know,
Detroit
you're,
used to be 100% Polish.
yeah, and you're preaching to the choir where I'm at, right?
Yeah.
We literally have,
Germans and
Polish
Indians.
Hill, Germans and the Indians, and we have the Muslims, and we have the Jews,
Yes.
and so we are legit called, the
I
melting pot
lived
city.
next door to a family of people who were Islam for like 5 years. They were Islamic. Wonderful people. Absolutely sweet, very helpful if we needed it, and we helped them if they needed it. Their kids were extremely respectful. They were not
Mhm.
getting into trouble. They weren't causing problems in the neighborhood. I could let my kids play with their kids in the yard, and it was never a problem.
Okay, but my issue now is if the belief is going to be brought into local, state, and federal government, what does that look like?
The
Where's the
UK.
monies going?
Have you seen what's
Where's the
going
money
on in the
going?
UK?
Yeah, I know. Have you seen where Ilhan has pledged her allegiance to?
Yes, and
The
I've
video?
also seen
Yes.
Rashida Tlaib's dumbass for
Uh-huh.
years while I
Yeah.
lived there. Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
what
But I will
so
tell you this. Did you see the footage of what happened when the Islamic communities of Dearborn and Hamtramck found out they were pushing LGBT stuff in the kids' schools?
absolutely,
The
I saw
men
it.
turned out in force.
Yes, they did. And
The
that
women
shit was
didn't have to
bull-
go scream at the teachers. The men, the husbands, the fathers, the uncles, the grandfathers. The women didn't have to stand up to defend the kids. The men did. The men jumped. They took off of work to show up at those school board meetings. How many dads do you see, American fathers, showing up at school board meetings? It's mostly women. I just want to, again, I don't agree with everything they teach, but you want to see a force to reckon with? Try teaching their kids something like that, because you don't see the Catholic dads showing up in force. You don't
No.
see the Protestant dads. You don't see the Baptist dads showing up in force. Do they truly believe their religion, that that is a sin and it should not be taught to the kids? Or are they just rolling over and tolerating what the kids are being taught?
Well,
This is
I think, see, that goes back to the whole
this is why
issue.
some religions don't
Hold
evolve.
but hold on. This goes back to the whole premise of get the wife out of the house, have her have a job, make it that the man can no longer make one
Well, then we're
salary.
back on Sharia law.
Yeah, make it that a man cannot sustain.
I know. I know where you're going.
Yeah.
I know exactly
Okay.
where you're going.
Right.
Mhm.
Make it that the man cannot have a job to afford the house, the car, maybe a little vacation, whatever. Now things are such that the wife usually has to work if you're going to have a home. A child is typically put in daycare. We have relinquished our children to the educational systems.
So we do want to roll back Christianity to the older versions of Christianity.
Exactly. From daycare all the way up through college and beyond, into the workforce, in through our media, in through our entertainment, in through our movies, right?
But
in
not.
through,
But then.
let's start Obama, let's start Oprah Winfrey, let's start naming names and calling it what it is.
I know. This is what happens when you slowly give up and change your religion to be more with the times.
Well,
This is exactly why I think the Muslims are having a major win, is because Christianity has given up on a lot of its beliefs and just adjusted them to fit the times.
Right. That came
And
probably. But,
that
was the
that started back in the 40s when women wanted to be on birth control. It started back in the 40s and 50s when religion started losing people because of, if we don't make these changes, they're going to bail on us.
Right. But who did the push? Who was the
the politics helped push it. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Politics. You're damn straight it was.
And it
Politics.
wasn't, but also people women were taught you're better than just staying home and cooking and cleaning and popping out babies every year.
Right.
That wasn't political. That was magazines. That was women talking to each other. Women got sick of being abused housewives, because there were many cases. My grandmother once severely abused over many years, and she couldn't file for divorce because where was she going to go? She had no work experience. So how do we find the balance between devout religion and standing our ground, but still giving women their rights and not turning it into a landslide of where we're at now?
Correct.
Where do you draw the line? Drawing the line is the hard part.
Yeah. Where is the balance? I don't know where that balance is, right?
But here we want a balance, but nobody wants to say where it goes.
Right. Right. And you and I have had the conversation, whose responsibility is to be raising the baby, right?
The man and the woman.
Parents. Right?
Yes.
It should be the parents. Why do I have the baby 5 days a week?
Because your family's younger generation was convinced that women have to work and pay for their own things and leave the man to pay all the bills, but the women get to buy whatever they want and not have to donate to the household rack up.
Wow.
And let's also not forget, that's the best way to be an independent woman, is to prove that you're going to not take care of your kids and do your own thing. I went through this. I went through a point of time where I did have good grounds for divorce. We're going to leave it at that. Actually, biblical grounds. What the Bible says is biblical grounds. I am very much within my right to have done this, but I had to take care of the kids and go to college and hold a job and pay my bills and pay my family to babysit, even though I always babysat for free for them. I never charged them a damn dime. I went out of my way to help them succeed, but they went out of their way to hold me back. Here's another thing. Family is not considered family anymore. Why do you think Asia does so good? The grandparents stay home and take care of the kids while both parents work, holding the up values. And then as the grandparents pass away and the parents go into that role, their kids are already adults to take over. Right. However, China and parts of Japan are having serious problems because they are horribly outnumbered, male to female, because girls, that's a whole cultural issue over there, and there's not enough women to marry the men, and marrying outside of the culture is really hard to do. Good luck getting an American woman to understand Asian culture and accept it. That stuff does not happen. And again, you see this in so many. No bra, hairy legs. Am I the only one who remembers the 70s? Yes. As you know, I've talked about this a few times because of my own family.
You know what? And I shaved every day as a lifeguard going to work. So I never went with very. So you never could call me corn pop.
You know what, though? Here's the thing. I can't physically bend to shave my legs, so y'all have to get over it. But that's a medical problem, not a political statement. Like I say about my body piercings and my tattoos. Those are not political statements. I dye my hair wild colors because I had fun. I loved the music and the culture of the late 80s through the 90s. Okay? That was my style. I get it. My parents didn't know about some of the piercings I had in high school. But that's just my personality. I took them out over the years, let them heal, redid them, I mean, over the years I can't even tell you how many piercings in various places. That's just me. That's just who I am. It is not a political statement. There's nothing political about it. But yet these days, I go outside with bright orange hair and all my piercings in. I've got everywhere. And I could be mistaken for a liberal. I swear to God. If you guys were to see me in my fullest me, you guys could probably mistake me as a liberal until you hear me on here.
My God. I thought I was going to say something else, but I'm glad you let it leave your lips. Okay.
If you guys have not heard me talking, but you saw me, like if you'd seen me, you might not, because you guys don't know what I look like. Most of you don't. If y'all were to see me in public, and I'm waiting for my hair to grow out so I can dye it the next color. Okay? Just so you know, I got to bleach and dye my hair the next color, and I'm thinking about going with like a purplish mauve.
I can take something to drink.
But y'all would probably think I was one of the whack job liberals screaming about everything under the sun if you just saw me on the street.
Illegals.
Yeah, y'all looking at me would not realize my political stance. Those of you who have seen me get it. I've got piercings. I've let other ones close up. I'm talking about redoing a few of them and a couple that I never had before. But I'm serious. I swear to God. Yes, the liberals ruined so much. I totally agree, Vanilla. I'm telling you, I don't do the gauged piercings, okay? Just so y'all know, I'm not like a 00 gauged ear. I keep it all to the minimum size you need to retain the piercing in the tissue that it goes in. So you're anywhere from a 20 gauge to a 14 or 16. 14 to 16 is like the max that I have. So it's all still within, it's not overly gapped out or anything like that. But you wouldn't know it if you ran across me on the street.
I was going to say more like, I wasn't going to say I considered you to be a liberal as much as a whack job. So that's
whack job is acceptable, but I can accept it. But if y'all would have seen me with the watermelon green hair 3 years ago, y'all would have been like, this woman is, you wouldn't believe my political beliefs until I opened my mouth. If you went just by how I looked. And once I dye my hair, I might show pictures of my hair. But no, and I found out, 'tis life. Rock used to be cool and real and agricultural.
Said that.
That was Vanilla Pie. Vanilla Pie. Art says, college professor with a degree in Asian philosophy and 50 years of medication. Yep, lots of people were shocked to discover I'm not a liberal. Yeah. I'm telling you. And this is where people get confused. My sister, yes, has tattoos, but is not pierced all over the place and doesn't dye her hair wacky colors. But ask Dee. I think I sent her the picture of things my sister has said. And, no, she's the rabid liberal. And here I'm the one with all the crazy outdoing, but mentally sane. Go figure.
Her sister, not me. Her sister, not me.
Yeah, I mean, my sister. Yes, absolute polar opposites, and there is not even a year between us. There is not even a full year between me and my sister, and way out there. So, yeah. Anyways, back to what we were doing. Again, I go sidetracking today. But no, like seriously, when it comes to culture and religion and stuff, it has all been hijacked by other groups at some point. I think that's where I was originally going with all of this. Because if you look
I'm
at the
blaming it
Eastern
on
culture,
nicotine.
where belly button piercings are supposed to help with digestive problems, eyebrow piercings help with past traumas, nose piercings help with emotional boosting and developing and becoming more outgoing of a personality and bringing you better luck. Those piercings all started somewhere. And now look where they are.
I need pierced everywhere then.
I know. But I will say the belly button piercing, now that I've been paying attention and I have digestive issues, it does make a difference. I had that redone recently, and I have noticed a major difference in my digestive health since I've had it done.
Just drink some pickle juice.
That's
Be
for
done.
heartburn. Everything else I have, like IBS and all that. Yeah. No, that doesn't help.
Okay, why don't we get
all right.
started on our only video for today, right? No, we had a short. Okay, our long video.
All right, let's get through this. I'm sorry, I am really taking us on tangents.
That's okay. This is caffeine day. No,
Caffeine and
Jesus.
nicotine. I got caffeine and nicotine today, which I was out of yesterday and the day before.
I meant to say nicotine. I'm just looking. I'm drinking caffeine. I might need to take up nicotine. No, it's lack thereof and too much. So we're just
at least I'm not on Adderall or Ritalin. I have other stimulants, but it's not Adderall and it's not Ritalin. Okay. Now I'm sorry.
This professor here, I think we would probably be well vested in the future to check her out on a couple things that she's done. So go ahead.
All right.
Radical, hardened, militant.
And I can't hear.
Oh, you've got to be kidding. Hold on. Let me reshare it to you in the studio. I don't know why it does this. It really hates me. I promise you.
It hates me. It won't even let me in. What are you talking about? And I'm the owner.
I know. This is so not fair. Okay. Can you hear it now?
Number one growing religion here in the United States. Why do you
Yes,
think that
ma'am.
is so? You think
I'm sorry, what was that?
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
Islam will eventually overtake Christianity here in the United States?
Worldwide, not just United States.
Scary.
I think Islam hates us.
The rise of Islam is real here in the United States. It's the fastest growing religion across America, and it's nearly doubled in size over the past 2 decades, and with Muslim women averaging 3.1 children compared to 1.6 for the American average, Muslims aren't just outpacing the nation in birth rates, they're also out-converting Christians. Nearly a quarter of all U.S. Muslims are converts, and most of them used to be Christians. While Christian churches are losing members, mosques are gaining members, and they're keeping them. And today I'm here in Minnesota, home to one of the largest Muslim populations in all of America, to witness the rise firsthand. I'll be speaking with Muslims, Christian Americans, all Americans, entering in the mosque, asking the questions you guys want answered, from 9/11 to Sharia law, everything in between. There are no questions that are off the table for this video. And if you're a Christian who believes in Western values, this video might be a wake-up call to you to reignite your faith and spread the good word. And if you're a Muslim, this video might excite you for the future of Islam here in the United States. I want to apologize to anybody a part of Islam beforehand. If I do not use the correct verbiage or phrasing, I apologize. I'm not too familiar with the religion. So today we're going to be learning more, speaking with people, and seeing the rise of Islam here in the United States. And now, let's hit the streets and see what's happening. And to see the rise of Islam firsthand, we head to Cedars Riverside in Minneapolis to see how much the Islam community has grown inside of this community inside of America. What's it mean to you to be a part of Islam here in the United States?
Well, you know, I think Islam is a religion for the humanity, you know, for everyone. Islam in America growing, it's not something to do with us, it's something to do with God. And it's God's decision, you know.
What's it like being a part of Islam here in the United States?
Islam here is growing. So I hope the Islam will grow here in America.
And why do you think so many people are converting to Islam here? It's the number one growing religion here in the United States.
Well, it's not only the growing, it's the fastest growing religion in the world. And no one can stop it. It looks like it is the best and the final religion to humanity. So If you don't accept it, that's up to you.
Islam is the #1 growing religion here.
Could be that because Islam is violent, people are scared of Islam. They think they're going to be better off joining it than trying to push it out.
In the United States. Why do you think that is so?
Because of the great influx, number one, of the immigrants that we had. Secondly, some people start to see that the Islamic people in general really hold some good, true value. You know what I'm saying? Their values are really tight with how they take care of the family and how they see things that way,
Which is exactly what Christians used to do.
Right.
That's all I'm going to add. I'm shutting my pie hole up on that one because I'll end up on another tangent. But just, it's the way Christians used to be. But then everyone got to be Bible thumpers and started demanding everyone be that way. And there was a generation that absolutely hated that. And look where we are.
Press play.
very good, strong thing.
While we were inside of Cedars Riverside, we actually met a lady who had left the Islam faith. So are you Muslim woman or no?
I'm not. My parent was Muslim.
How come you left Islam?
Because they control me. They control my clothes, and it's not good.
Do you think women are suppressed?
Yes, of course, they breast. It's not. They don't want it, but when female, they're afraid to get killed. So that's why they wear hijab. They wear big clothes. But me, I don't want clothes. I don't want to wear. But this is need to be stopped. People, they have to wear whatever they want.
So if
President Trump, you have to tell President Trump. You have to tell me a message. Females, they have this United States, they have freedom. They can wear whatever they wanted, but Islamic, they breast females to wear these hijabs.
So if you're a woman in Afghanistan and you don't wear the hijab,
they kill you. They don't want you if you don't wear hijab. Even me, I wear this because they don't want me to wear a pant.
Because they believe in Sharia. If Sharia comes to the US, very similar outcomes can come out of it. That's why I'm wholeheartedly rejecting Sharia coming to the West, despite the fact it's already happening.
Yeah, I'm afraid that's why I wear this. So it's not the way you think.
the hijab is a headscarf worn by many Muslim women as a sign of modesty and faith, and in some Muslim countries or underneath certain leadership, it is required, while in others, it is not. What are some large misconceptions about Islam here in the United States?
That Muslim women are suppressed.
And what makes you choose to wear the hijab?
My religion, I started wearing the hijab when I was 16 years old.
And what would happen if you didn't wear that hijab?
Nothing would happen. It's your choice.
And why do you think Islam is the largest growing religion here in the United States right now?
It's your choice in the West, but if you live in a Sharia law country and you take...
Did you need me to pause?
No, I'm okay. Go ahead,
Okay.
Crazy B.
that off, bad things happen.
Because of our Quran, our Quran, our book never changes. It's one book, one language, one religion. There's Islam in all over the world.
Do you think Islam will eventually overtake Christianity here in the United States?
Worldwide, not just United States.
Wow.
We have people converting every day.
And what leads a Christian man to convert to Islam?
When they read the Quran and they find the truth, and they read it in English, and they see how peaceful Islam is.
Here are just a few surahs to prove to you that Islam is not a religion of peace, or the Quran is not a book of peace. Surah 929, fight those who don't believe in Allah or Muhammad, the Prophet, and make them pay the jizya in humiliation and subjugation. 860, cast terror in the hearts of the disbelievers. 839, slay the unbelievers wherever you find them. 533, crucify the disbelievers and cut off their hands and feet from both ends. Sounds like a very peaceful book, right?
And could you shake a man's hand?
No,
Do you find that interesting that women can't shake other men's hands?
no, I don't find that interesting. It's normal.
Is it true that Muslims also practice polygamy?
Yes,
Would you accept another wife into your marriage?
in our religion it says.
How have you seen the rise of Islam here in this area?
Okay, hold up.
And why?
Yeah.
Oh, hell no. Hell no, that ain't happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nope.
Uh-huh.
So what's the federal government going to do about that? All of a sudden, that's okay?
We
Because
have...
we don't...
hold on.
we do- I
Utah,
know we do
that
have- we
sister
do have in the
wives.
United- I know we do have in the United States. What's the name
It's
of the
the
group?
sister wives that in Utah. I think they're the Mormons. I think they're part
Yeah, the
Mormon, or
Mormons.
they're Mormon.
Yeah, yeah, the Mormons.
They also allow that. So, no, we can't reject them because that is a personal choice. I have known Islamic groups, families that were not polygamous; they were monogamous. But if he wants to, she does not have a say. So whether she
Yeah.
likes it or not because of the religion, he's going to do whatever anyways. And if she don't
Yeah.
like it, he can divorce her ass and leave her high and dry with no child support because of the
You
religion.
do recall in the United States there was a case. Let me see if I could pull it. Wasn't it Lorena Bobbitt?
Yeah, she chopped him
Uh-huh.
off his thing.
Yeah.
Yes, I
And
remember that very well.
Super glued it, I believe. Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay. Just saying. Just so you know.
Women, and she did go to jail for that, though.
Whatever. 3 squares.
I'm just pointing out that, yes, there is.
And I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Just to get it out there so that, everybody knows on the up and up.
And
Ain't
again, even in biblical times, men
I
of the Bible had multiple wives. So if anyone's wanting to have a fit, I'm just pointing out the comparison between the two religions.
Perhaps growing up in it versus going into it, might be
is a whole different ballgame. Yes.
correct.
Yes.
Being brought up in that faith is different than, telling me now, guess what? Bitch number 2's coming in.
Unless you convert, but you knowingly convert and you choose to go into it.
And if I don't, I'm getting my hands and feet chopped off. So he's going to need somebody else
No,
anyway.
actually, that would not be a hands and feet chopped off. That would be you get hung or stoned or lots of other creative ways. In the Book of Mormon, in the religious text, not the Broadway play, it vehemently states against polygamy. Okay. Oh, my bad. So how did they pull that off? They claimed they're Mormon, I believe, in the religion, in that show.
Was that the Church of Latter-day Saints?
I don't think they do that either. The Jehovah's Witness, Latter-day Saints, I don't think they do.
I'll look it up. Go ahead.
Okay, we're going to look that up. I just know Utah is known for Mormons, so my bad. There was also a prosecution for polygamy in the Mormon community a few years back, too. Okay. So maybe it is a by choice. I got to look further into this because I could have swore it was Mormon that they did that. Anyways, I'm going to hit play.
Yeah.
I think Islam is on the rise here in the United States.
Because of a lot of Somalians come here from East Africa. And so they come here to practice Islam because it's safe.
Minnesota is home to one of the largest populations of...
Not only because it's safe, also because they want to bring Sharia to the U.S., young lady.
Somalians in America accepted thousands of Somalis refugees in the 1990s due to a civil war that was taking place. And when they came to the United States, a large portion of them decided to settle in Minnesota.
Hold up.
Yes.
So the Sister Wives was an Episcopalian. United Brethren, AUB. It's a Mormon fundamentalist group that practices polygamy.
Okay, so it is a branch of Mormonism, like the branch Davidians have like 80 different branches.
Correct. So it's a branch of the mainstream Mormonism through the
Seventh-day Adventists.
And I was right, through the mainstream Latter-day Saints Church.
Okay, same thing. Latter-day Saints is the Mormons. Jehovah's Witness is a different one. Sorry.
Yeah. That's okay. So,
I used to have this stuff memorized so well.
the Church of Latter-day Saints banned polygamy in 1890. The AUB continues to believe it today to essential for achieving the highest level of exaltation in the afterlife.
Yes. And
Okay.
this is very similar to the Seventh-day Adventist, who branched off into 80 billion different groups. And we ended up with the Branch Davidians over in Waco in their beliefs. And they had some wild stuff that they did. So, yeah, every religion does this.
Wow.
Something about in the Aussie that Shad, the Aussie that does the knight and sword stuff, did a bit of a recent video because some troll claimed hit this stuff and called him out. He posted images from his religious text word for word. Okay. So yeah, this is where again there are so many branches of so many religions on this planet.
They all accommodate a specific reason, right? They all have a or whatever. Oh, well, I like everything about this religion, but guess what? I'd like more than one wife. So let's go branch out and make this different.
Well, that's what that's what kind of how the Lutherans and the Catholics split. The Catholics were going overboard, and the Lutherans, are, the group that became the Lutherans, are like, yeah, nope, bye.
Yep.
Every religion has done this. And again, it's my frustration. And I can see the bigger pattern, not just, oh, I'm so hell-bent that my belief is the only right one. I can believe what I want to believe. My personal religious perspective is what it is. But when you look at the bigger picture, holy crap, we're all the same.
Mm-hmm.
Just, yeah. Uh-huh. Want to beat my head against the wall a few times over? I mean, hell, the Jews and the Christians divided because of the difference of Jesus was the Son of God versus not. But the Jewish people still have some teachings of what Jesus said because they saw him as a prophet that still, some do, not all. And even in Islam, they teach some of Jesus's teachings, but they teach him as a prophet, not the Son of God. That's another difference. Is whether Jesus was actually the Son of God or not. Tell me how that makes any sense.
I don't know. Nothing
Y'all are literally killing each other over this stupid shit. 99% of Buddhists are nonviolent, except the Shohei who took up fig hitting against the... I can't pronounce that, in feudal Japan. That's right. I've joked around. You don't see Buddhist monks going around beating people with religious scrolls to convert them, like you didn't see Jesus going around with a Torah and beating people. I was told the Muslims do not see Jesus as the Son of God by multiple people who practice Islam. I've been told that is not the case directly from them. So I'm not sure who is trailing from their beliefs to start a new version. It's pronounced Sohei. Oh, they're saying that he didn't die on the cross? That's a completely different version of Islam then from the ones that I've talked to. That's different than what I was. That must mean there's another sect out there I haven't gotten a chance to talk to. I'd love to talk to that person. I really do. That's something I am not aware of that version of Islam. That's odd. Because the ones I've all spoken to, Jesus is only a prophet, not the Son of God. Which is the one thing they actually have in common with the Jewish people. I hear the difference. Maybe it's a different section. Yup. Okay, let me hit play. We got to try to get through this.
Reason. And now that decades have
I'm
passed,
dragging
those
this out
refugees
way
have
too
children,
much.
and the Somali population has grown. This also raises the number of members of Islam born into the United States and also expands the influence of Islam throughout the country. It's projected that Minneapolis is now home to over 200,000 Somalians, and now many of those Somalians are also part of the government, like Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, and now they also have another new person running for mayor of Minneapolis who's also Somalian and also Muslim. And Minneapolis is also one of the only cities in America that permits the Muslim call of prayer to be played out loud.
The Muslim groups in Dearborn, Michigan allow it, as does Hamtramck allow it to be played out loud.
And is that any different than church bells ringing? But you
and
don't
that
hear
was
them play?
Yes, when church bells are tolling on Sundays. But I will tell you what, I remember one Christmas, a Christian family lived in Dearborn, and this got taken to the frickin' state level courts because the Muslim people were absolutely offended by the nativity scene that was put in the yard of the Christian family, and they wanted it taken down, and it ended up in the courts.
And what was the outcome?
Freedom of religion. Don't like it, look the other way.
There you go.
One time, I actually agreed with the courts on this kind of stuff. They told them, you're in America, you got get over it. They can do that. And this is in a 90-something plus % Muslim Islam community. There was a handful of Christians, and one of them put up a nativity scene in their Christmas yard. So, yeah, it does happen. And again, I grew up very close to, well, didn't grow up, but I spent a large chunk of my life living near these communities. How I went into Dearborn and Hamtramck as a medical assistant to go see patients, and I respected their culture and their home. I knew I could not talk to the patient if the patient was female, and to address the husband or son or the male who was there to handle her care. I respected it even though I didn't agree with it, because freedom of religion and respecting culture. And I would make sure my tattoos were covered those days. I'm just, I'm very understanding, I guess, which is better than some people. And a lot of people are like, you don't have to do that. I'm like, I know. But when I'm in a Chinese home that's traditional Chinese, I take my damn shoes off at the door. And I always greet the elder first. And then I greet everyone else in the house. So, anyways.
Are you? Do any of you speak English? English?
Oh my God. This does not look like America. This does not look like America, guys. Where are we?
No. Can women speak on camera? No. I kept going because I wanted to speak with some more of the elders here to see if they could share their story about coming here from Somalia and how they've seen the rise firsthand. However,
Hello.
none of them spoke English.
How are you? Can I ask any of you guys some questions? No? Speak English? No? Do any of you speak English?
Oh my God, she just picked her nose.
I then found someone who I could speak with and ask the controversial questions that many people are curious about.
What's it like being a Muslim woman here in the United States?
It's sometimes challenging, especially nowadays.
And why do you say nowadays?
The climate kind of changed.
She could go home and get her ass beat by her husband or her son or a brother for talking to him and not be able to complain about it publicly. Just want to point that out. That is part of the Sharia law. She could go home and get beat almost to death, or if not to death, over talking to a man without her husband's permission, or her son or her brother's permission. Well, I'm assuming her father's dead, so him as well. So,
well, how do you hide a dead body in America?
Oh, they would make some other excuse, I'm sure, and it would be covered by the locals. Because again, it's a mostly predominant Muslim community. There's such a thing as honor killings, and they do happen in America.
What?
And yes, if they get caught, they do go to jail, but they'd rather uphold their honor in their religion and go to jail.
So why is it necessary to come to America in the first place?
To spread the religion, or if well, I can't say they fear religious persecution or political because they're carrying it over here, the exact traditions. So they had to have come here for other reasons, probably financial reasons, and they were allowed to come through, and they have helped spread the word of their religion. Well, the men have.
Well, if they're Somalians, then they probably came in via the way Ilhan
Oh, because
did.
of the war torn. Yeah. Or they might
Yeah.
have come in because it wasn't safe to live in their country at this point.
Right.
I forgot about that. They are coming from that, but I assume not all of them come from Somalia. Most of them probably do, but not all of them, because again, Islam is so widespread through the Middle East and Southeast Asia. Pakistan's, India, Bangladesh, those places. There is and even parts of Southeast Europe.
Right.
I mean, Southwest Asia and Southeast Europe. A lot of the countries, all the way up into like Turkey, and I was talking to a person from Albania where Islam has taken root, and there is more Islamic people than there is Christian. So, yeah, there's a lot of spreading of it, and how it got there over the last, almost 2 centuries that Islam's been around. The last 1,700-ish years, give or take. So, yeah. Oh, hold on. Crown Target says, you also need multiple women witness to equal the same weight of one male witness. Yeah, we talked about that before.
Right.
Yep. So, yeah, this is, again, where she could go home and face serious repercussions for taking this interview. She is taking a risk. I mean, if her husband's a traditionalist, that's what this boils down to. Okay, I'm going to hit play then.
Yep.
Because of the political.
For instance, do you feel like acts like 9/11 and the use of the word radicalized has put a bad name on Muslims?
Absolutely.
And what do you say about what happened on 9/11, or those when people say Allah Akbar or things like that?
I thought it's tragedy.
Would you say that's a misrepresentation of the true Islam, or do you think
it definitely is misrepresentation? True Islam doesn't believe in violence.
Or what's the hijab?
I can put money on the fact that she doesn't actually understand the Quran that she's reading. If you truly read the Quran and understand it, there's no reason to stay in Islam. If you do choose to read it and embrace it, that's what makes you radicalized and what makes you want to commit these attacks. That's why ISIS do what they do. That's why the Taliban do what they do. That's why Al-Qaeda and Hamas do what they do. It's all on the name of Islam.
What's the hijab represent in your mind?
It represents for you to be modest, to cover your body for only your spousal, and to leave something for the imagination.
What is Sharia law? A lot of people have a conception as to what Sharia law is. What is Sharia law?
I really don't like to speak of a topic that I'm not expert on, or I don't know too many things about.
After a few interviews, somebody came up to us angry because we were asking people about the rise of Islam inside this community. My name is Dick Shirley.
What are you doing?
My name is Dick Shirley. I'm a YouTuber. We're doing a video on the rise of Islam here in the United States.
The rise of Islam.
Yeah, it's the #1 converting religion.
The rise of Islam. Make it make sense for me.
Yeah, it's #1 it's the #1 converting religion in the United States, so we're doing a subject on it.
#1 converting religion in the United States.
It's like the #1 growing religion. So.
Wait, isn't it after Christ?
What?
Isn't it after Christ?
This guy wouldn't show his face on camera, and this conversation kept going for a few minutes, and he demanded that we deleted the footage of the interviews that we took here on the street. I said no, and he said, you better go, and we're gonna make sure you leave. I've never been in a situation like that while I've been filming, where somebody comes out of nowhere and wants to take the footage. I was watching a video prior to this video, and there is a Somali gang war going on here inside of the apartment complexes, apparently. I think we just went upon a gang.
The religion of peace. They welcome everybody in peace.
And I didn't know that they were a gang. And right now, he said, you better leave, or we're gonna make sure you get out of here.
So right now there is somebody following from behind, making sure that we get out of this place. Not the most friendly welcome here into this part of Minnesota. This is one of the many Islamic centers here. This is a mosque here, but something that's super interesting about this mosque right here, it actually used to be a Lutheran church. You can see right here
Oh,
on
wow.
the backdrop of this wall right here, this used to be a Lutheran church. So that just shows how much of the population has shifted from Christian to Muslim as far as the people in the population here inside of this town, as this used to be a Lutheran church, now it's an Islamic mosque. So right here is the St. Cloud University, and we were just at that mosque right there, and then if you go another block over, there's another mosque. And then what's interesting is right next to this mosque right here, there's a Presbyterian church, so you have two churches right next to each other.
In Dearborn, Michigan, there is a Catholic church next to a mosque, and surprisingly, there's never any fighting. But just pointing out, it does happen, and they don't outright attack in America right now because I think there's too much repercussions. I think that's what's holding it back.
Oh, but it's coming.
Well, look at the UK. It's already happening there. It's happening in various areas throughout Europe, too. Germany. Correct. Poland is like, we ain't playing, and they,
Poland,
they'll shoot on sight.
Poland, yep, Poland, a Muslim will not step foot in this country.
Yes.
The president of Poland he said basically, in fact, I think we have that footage for later, but he basically came out and said, you can call me whatever you want. I don't really give a shit. It ain't happening.
Yep.
That sums up the short and sweet.
All right. I want to try to get through at least... we've got 4 minutes before we need to end, unless you're okay with running a little late.
Yeah, I can run a little late. I just got to kick Eric to the house, that's all.
Okay.
One worshiping Allah, and the other worshiping God.
Are we going to get another scream effect where he comes up behind you and you don't notice him?
Who knows what will happen? You never know. He might hit me this time.
All right.
Depending on who you talk to as far as Allah and God, they are referred as the same person. However, the Islamics use the word Allah to refer to their God. How would you say the Islamic community is here?
It's pretty deep in it. It's a lot of people, right? It's pretty big. They all they're pretty, like, they come together, right?
Would you say there's more Muslims than there are Christians here in this area?
I would say so. I would think so. Yeah, I would say so. Yes, sir.
And how do you feel about the rise of Islam here in the United States?
I don't really know too much personally. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I don't know too much about Islam. I'm all for it, like what anybody wants to be with their religion and what they want to do. But I don't know too much about it. I just know it's real powerful here in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm. And why?
Oh boy, that's gonna backfire on you one day.
Why do you think it's so powerful here in Minnesota?
That's a good question. But I think don't they have like powerful people like in the government and stuff like that? They got something going on. Like they must have something here for them to come to.
It's called spreading Sharia, bringing Sharia to the West.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, something is bringing them here. Something is bringing them here. I feel like in all that, I thought he was Islam. But I don't know. I feel like something is just bringing them here. Like, it must be something here that they love. So I think, don't they have like a schooling or a church or something? They got something where they all dress up and they're attending something. You know what I mean? They have
The principle this guy's talking about is called the Hijra. Build a comfortable infrastructure for more Muslims from around the world to come, and that way you can develop Islam and make this place Muslim. If there's mosques and schools and imams and all these things, this infrastructure that works and helps promote Islam even more people are going to come. That's why there's a lot of Muslims going to that specific place.
Well, as possible, I did ask permission to film during the prayer.
Really know what I'm doing right now.
All right, we just finished up the prayer. Mm-hmm. So how long does that prayer last for?
So it depends on what time of year it is. This one does not last that long. it could last for about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on what you need to do.
Do you see the rise of Islam?
Yeah, you could say so. It's all different type of ethnicities, all sorts of races. So I'm guessing that's a huge rise.
So inside of this Islamic center, there's also a mosque at the very bottom, but then the rest of it is also a school. This building used to be an old elementary school or something like that. Now it's been converted into an Islamic center. Downstairs is the mosque, and upstairs is where the classrooms are at. I'm gonna go have a conversation with one of the kids here who is Muslim to ask him some questions about what people are referring to as the Somali takeover, some of the misconceptions that I might have about the Islamic faith, and just ask and have an open conversation about what it means to be a part of Islam, and ask some other questions as well.
Exactly what I said. Islamic centers, mosques, schools. That's what I'm talking about. Creating a comfortable infrastructure for more Muslims to come. Same in the UK, same in France, Canada, and America as well.
And how many people are you seeing, for instance, like how many white American boys like me are you seeing convert to Islam?
So I'm a close friend of one of them. I wish he was here today so he could talk to you. Originally he's Irish. His family had lived in Minnesota for the past, I would say, 70 years. His great-grandparents came early on during the early 1900s, and he recently accepted Islam, I would say, 2 years ago. And when I was talking to him, he accepted Islam through reading the Quranic literature, you know?
So what's the difference between you and somebody who's been radicalized?
Well, the difference between me and someone who's radicalized is this.
He understands the Quran, and you don't. That's the difference between you two.
Most people who have been radicalized for a political gain, not for a theological gain. Allah says in the Quran, لا ينهاكم الله عن الذين لم يقاتلوكم في الدين ولم يخرجوكم من دياركم أن تبروهم وتقسطوا إليهم, which means Allah does not prohibit you from those that don't fight you, don't expel you from your homes, to be kind to them. Allah is not prohibiting you from doing that. In fact, Allah loves those that are kind to them.
So why does the word radicalized come up, for instance, like the death to America, that sort of stuff? Where does that come from? Because that's a lot of stuff that maybe I see on the news, or maybe I see.
Every time somebody changes his position to this, he knows it's a difficult question to answer. So let's see what he says.
I'm living here in the United States, and that's kind of the news you get, is like the Islam's taking over, and they're going to want to make sure that Sharia law is brought to pass and that everybody converts to Islam.
Well, there's this misconception about Sharia law. Everybody sees Sharia law as this law that puts everybody that's not a Muslim under this radical military rule that you either comply with what the government says, or you're punished. No, Sharia law is really simple. A big part of Sharia law is this. The Prophet, may peace be upon him, said, "It is not befitting for you to go to sleep with your belly full with food while your neighbor is hungry." Sharia law is not a political rule.
That sounds a lot like Christianity.
And his belly looks like it's full.
Yeah, but I do want to point out Christianity teaches the same thing. You know, help your neighbors.
Right. His belly don't look, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
keep going. Great.
Yep, I get it. Come on, Mouse.
It is, don't get me wrong. There's a political aspect in Islam.
This guy doesn't actually understand Islamic rule. There's no difference between political and religious. The state and Islam are one thing. They're one thing. There's no differentiation, no distinction between the two. If only a minority of people, of Muslims, live in a Christian country, that needs to change. There's no way Muslims can allow that to happen. To live under the wing of Christians, under the wing of Jews? No. So this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. They've got incredibly violent quotes in the Quran, incredibly violent surahs in the Quran. I'm going to pause here because I do want you to watch the full video on Nick Shirley's channel. I think he's awesome, and the content he's been releasing lately is incredible. Love him. So please go and watch that video.
Yep, that's where I cut it. So, yeah, and I chimed in quite a bit. There really isn't too much I can fully add, but that I haven't already, which dragged us out 3 minutes over.
3 minutes isn't too bad. It could have been till 5:30. It could have been till Sunday or Monday.
You know I could. I could literally sit here and point between the two, the Christian base, the original Christian religion of Catholicism that spawned into everything we have, and Islam. Like, I could sit there and go back and forth all day.
Well, I think we have more that happens on Tuesday, don't we?
Oh, yeah. Actually, tomorrow is Friday, right? No, today's Friday, isn't it?
I hope so.
Yes, today is Friday. So Tuesday, we actually do have more videos about this to cover.
Right.
Another video.
Then,
I think it's one or two. No, one. Yeah. And then we go into the racial backlash stuff that's been happening.
Yeah. And then Wednesday will be that pre-recorded day, and then we'll pick back up live Thursday and Friday.
Yep.
So, with that being said, I have a family to see off and get them out the door. So, I would like to do so and have a peaceful weekend. Hopefully quiet.
He's being silly.
And he said what?
And he goes, I've told you, I can't do Sundays. It's a religious thing, LOL.
There you go.
Technically, Sabbath is on a Saturday, but, the Christians changed it. So, just going to point that out, too.
Yeah. Christians did everything.
Well, they did it first. They took that plunge first, and then everybody else followed suit.
I love you. Call me when you get up there, okay?
We love you too, and we will call you when we get there.
All right. Lock the door. Lock the door.
At least no Screech today from being startled.
No, he couldn't sneak up on me today. No, he let the dog out for me. So.
Okay, good.
Oh, heck. Anyway, I'm whipped.
Oh, I can tell.
After yesterday and today, my body's been abused, so.
Oh, I get it. I absolutely get it.
Yeah. Thank goodness the weekend's here, so.
Oh, and by the way, that website couldn't be reached. Yeah. They do not allow it. Okay. It got pulled down for Islamophobia.
There you go.
Tell me how that makes sense.
Yeah, that's okay, though. See how the media's pushing the narrative. Go figure. All right, guys. I'm done. I'm out. Crazy Bee, how about you?
I'm just getting the last of the stuff thrown into the description, and then we can... Well, you can go at any time you please. I'm going to have to go through this really quick, but while we're saying the goodbyes, I'm just getting the last one sent out.
Okay.
So, yeah, y'all know the routine of stay safe, stay sane, stay sober. Yeah, no one ever really listens, I'm sure, but I can put out the request, right?
There you go. All right, everybody have a good night, and we'll see you on Tuesday.
All right, y'all have at it.